Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Vanda Orchids, but on the way to the greenhouse I thought I would just give you a tour as we go through here. Brugmansia is coming out in full bloom. I absolutely love the smell of these flowers. It is like my favorite summertime scent. The koi here, they are doing great. They're loving the warm weather of August and will be super hungry this morning. So they're super happy as well. A few of the carnivorous plants are looking a little bit rougher as the season goes on. Excuse the mess there of the hose. But that's for another video. My cycad there, it's got a new flush of growth for the year, so that's good. It's early morning, the sun rises over that way, but you can see another Brugmansia in the distance there. Bougainvillea. A few taros line the side of the greenhouse. There is a giant elephant ear taro and the bananas. The bananas are doing great this year. Super tall. They're well, so are the taros, man. Here's my head height right there. So the camera is above my head at this moment. And yeah, the banana grove is doing good. A few hardy hibiscus tucked in here as well. And anyways, let's go in the greenhouse. Alright, in the greenhouse we are. Good morning, YouTube. I like to get my filming done early before the sun comes in. We've done something a little bit different this time. You're actually facing the other direction, so this time you're facing the orchids as opposed to facing the carnivorous plants. A little bit more to look at in the backdrop there. Lots out in bloom, as you can see. August is such a great month for orchid blooms. We have the long days, the bright sunny weather. It's just great. So I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to talk about one of the sun-loving orchids, the Vandas. And I have got a bunch of Vandas out in bloom right now. So I was just going to show you my Vandas in bloom and take you on a little tour of the Vandas, give you some care tips as we go. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. As I say, it's a little early for me. I always find when I film in the morning, I have a much quieter voice, so I'm trying to speak up so you can hear me. In the afternoon, I'm a whole lot louder. Go figure, right? But anyways, since we have this guy in my hand, I thought we would start with this one. And hopefully we can get this done before the sun comes in that wall there and it gets too bright on us. So this Vanda here, they're actually, when I say Vanda, they're usually all Vanda crosses. I'll show you the tag here. So it is a Vanda escascenda cross, and it is a beautiful one. It is a sort of a solid yellow. There are a few little tidbits of darker yellow in the petals. The smell on this guy is absolutely amazing. This is my favorite smelling Vanda orchid. It smells up the whole greenhouse, and the good news is I have two spikes coming out at once. So this is probably a medium-sized plant, medium-sized flower. It usually hangs somewhere on the south wall, getting lots of sun. There for a while, it was right up there actually. We're in that bright spot, and that's where it actually set its blooms. Since it's been in bloom, I've moved it down so I can enjoy them as well. But the smell is just amazing on it. It's a very sweet, candy-like smell. The next one I'm going to show you also has a smell. We'll talk about that one as well. But for conditions, one of the biggest things you have to worry about with Vandas, especially when they have no media whatsoever, is keeping them hydrated enough. These guys are very, very thirsty. I can't emphasize enough how important high humidity is for these guys. Growing them in the house would be a real challenge with these roots like this. If you were going to grow them in a house, I'd recommend trying to tame the roots down and put them in a big glass vase with maybe some moss in the bottom so you have a humid environment for the roots. It will make life much easier for you. The vase would have to be a significant size. I always drape my Vandas in some Spanish moss. I find it usually aids in the humidity. When I spray them down, the moss stays a little bit wetter for longer, and it kind of just gives a cool effect so you're not just seeing the roots. So I started doing that with all mine just for fun. It's not anything you have to do. I think it was last year we had a little accident right here. You see this root? It's very dead. A fresh root came out there, and it grew directly into this metal. And the metal, instead of it going around the metal, it actually just killed the root, dead. It never did recover from that. I bent the metal out, that's why it has a bit of a kink in it now, because once I realized what was happening, I moved the metal, but it was too late, and it just like it killed the tip. So I don't know what's in these metal wires here, but they don't like the roots, or the roots don't like them when they're fresh and growing. But anyways, this guy is just amazing. I love him. So I'm going to hang him back up, and I'll show you the next one. All right, now this guy is another amazing little one. This is one of my most prolific bloomers. I love it because it's so nice and small right now. And it has a smell too. To me, it smells kind of like a Cattleya. The other one is very sweet. It has its own sort of smell. You can just smell it. This guy, I've smelt this smell before. Usually it's in Cattleya type orchids. But again, same sort of thing. It's growing in a basket in here. We have lots of Spanish moss growing all over the roots, just for fun. We've had no accidents with the roots. In the past, it's gotten little black spots on it, which was just probably a little bit of a bacteria infection that's been treated. Maybe some water sat on the leaves and it got in the sun and sort of cooked it a little bit. Those are many years old. As long as the new growth is coming out nice, I think you're pretty much laughing there. So this guy here, I'll show you the tag. It is actually a close relation to the one we just had up, the yellow one. It has the same Vanda parent, Densisoniana. I'm totally saying that wrong, I'm sure. And across to Ascocenda Peggy Sue. So you can tell it's kind of similar. The blooms are a very similar shape, a very similar size. This one has narrower lip on it, where the yellow one had a much wider lip. But overall, I love how red this is. It's just a flat red, lovely orchid. Let me see if I can focus a little bit more. Anyways, beautiful, beautiful plant. And as I say, prolific. This one flowers all the time for me. This is the second time it's flowered off this leaf node here. Again, lots of humidity. This one, again, was hanging quite high up. Lots of bright light. It doesn't even really have much in the way of shade cloth there. It was just getting pretty much full sun. The only shade it had was from its neighboring orchids. And, oops, I hit a wind chime. This guy here is a much bigger plant, with much bigger flowers. This is an Ascocenda hybrid. I will bring out the tag. So it has Ascocenda parent with a Vanda father. Usually the first name is the mother plant. So this is would be classed more as an Ascocenda, but beautiful big purple flowers on it. This was one of my first Vandas. I've had it for a long time. I have found this guy, I just recently put some Spanish moss on there to take over. I was finding him really hard to water. As a bigger plant, he was really sucking up the water fast. I could not keep these roots wet enough. I see there's a few crinkles in the leaves. He was also hanging in the brighter side, and I see a little bit of yellowing on him. And one thing to note, when Vandas are hanging like this, they're really, really hard to fertilize. So I usually put a fertilizer in a spray bottle and give them a spray. I don't do that often enough, I don't think, and I think this guy could probably benefit from a nitrogen-rich fertilizer to hopefully bring some of that green back, maybe reduce the light a little bit so that the newer growth comes out a little bit darker, healthier color. But otherwise, I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing anyways. He's blooming away. Again, a very reliable bloomer. Vandas have these very thick, woody stalks. I don't know if you can see the old ones there. They just turn to wood. They stay there basically forever. You can count the bloom spikes year after year that come out. So the good thing about Vanda orchids, though, this bloom, it's just finishing opening. You can see some buds still not quite open. It's going to really darken up and become more purple. And these plants, you're going to see this orchid now for the next couple months in here in bloom. This guy will bloom and bloom and bloom, and then usually bloom again in December or so. So they'll bloom twice a year easily anyways, if given the right light. Doesn't even seem to have to be warm temperatures. The greenhouse in the wintertime won't be that warm, and in previous years it hasn't been that warm. For temperature right now in the greenhouse, we have nighttime lows at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it tops out at about 85, 90 over there probably, because it's going to be hotter and drier. I have different zones. Behind you is going to be much cooler and shadier. That's where the misting comes on. It's usually shaded, where over here there's not as much misting, and the sun just comes straight in there, so it takes some time to cool down before it gets to where you guys are standing there. But anyways, that is my Vanda Orchid tour for today. 3 beautiful Vandas in bloom. I have to say on this guy, never had a scent. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have a smell to it. So, I hope you liked this video. I hope you got a few care tips. If you have any care tips for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. And now I get to finish my coffee. I might do another video this week about my misting system that is above your head. I did some upgrades to that. So if you haven't seen my original video that I did, because this is a new misting system, check that out. I did it probably a month ago, and I've made a few significant upgrades to it. So probably worth showing you that as well. Anyways, bye guys.